Hey friends, Powwow guy Rob Phoenix here. Hope you're all doing well. It is Friday, October 4th, 2024. Uh, Yesterday and today we had a lot of sunshine, which I was really happy about. It was nice to see the sun again, but everything is still so saturated from all the rain. Um, Not complaining, not complaining. Number one, we needed rain, but we got almost too much, but not complaining because those poor people affected by Hurricane Helene. Um, Thankfully, FEMA and the government and the military and the National Guard and all that are responding and getting the help and the assistance where needed. So if you were affected by this, one thing you should know is that you are allowed to go to the FEMA website or call FEMA and actually apply for money for any kind of assistance, if you're the victim of this like natural disaster. So a lot of people don't realize that FEMA has grant money and also loan money and such that you can apply for if you need the help. So please do so if you're in any of the areas affected by the hurricane. But stay safe. There you go. So what I wanted to talk about tonight is, excuse me, when do any of you guys think it's appropriate to start teaching your children your magic? Now, my son's been here for like a decade. Um, So he's been exposed to powwowing. He's seen all kinds of interesting things. He's learned all kinds of stuff. He's actually spoken at events with me where I've taught powwow. He's stood up and spoken. So he has all that experience as a young kid. He'll be 14 this year. But in his short life, he's so far learned all kinds of really good stuff that he's used. Powwow, obviously. But powwow is a little less quote unquote like magical than a lot of other folk magic traditions, insofar as like, we don't do spells for this, that, and the other thing. We just kind of work for healing and protection on an as needed basis. But that's pretty much it. Powwow doesn't address like all the spectrum of things that people, people come up with in their lives. And so he sometimes has these issues that I can't help with or that I'm just not sure. Um, Psychologically, I can talk to him and we can think of like, a logical answer and such, but there's nothing spiritual that I have to offer other than praying. But anyway, he's looking for more like magical solutions, I guess. And that's okay. I support that. So I have this book called The Hoodoo's Guide to Herb and Root Magic, an African American Guide to Conjure, something like that. It's one of those Catherine Ironwood books. I believe I got that from a friend a year or two ago. I never used it because I'm not like a spell casting kind of person. Like it's just not the kind of person I am. Um, but it's basically this A to Z herbal. And so it just gives it's just alphabetical dictionary of herbs and plants, and it tells a little blurb about them. But then it lists like how to use them for various magical intentions, like to get money, to find a relationship, to keep someone away from you, that sort of thing. Um, so I gave him that book today. He had never seen it before, but just some of the things he had said to me today, I thought, well, let me think about that. And I just thought he's old enough, he's mature enough, um, and he knows enough about magical practice and spirituality and connection with God and such that I trust him. So I gave him the book, and I said, use it wisely, like Dumbledore said to Harry with the cloak of invisibility. Use it wisely, but um, yeah. So I don't know. Like some people say, like I remember reading somewhere or hearing somewhere ages ago that to be a powwow, you had to be at least 35 years old. And history shows us otherwise. But maybe some people would not teach a child, or maybe some people are just totally fine with children learning, which that's kind of the box I fall into, I think, if you're raising your child in a quote unquote magical environment, then it's only natural that they're going to learn some things from you, pick up some things. But Josani being of African American heritage, which I mean, he'll always be a part of that, no matter what. Like, yes, he's raised in the culture of me and Bill, whatever that is. But, and he's very much like accustomed to our culture. He's very much, knowledgeable and schooled in like Pennsylvania Dutch. He knows Jimmy Buffett music because of us and some of the country music we listen to and such. Like, I don't know, we raised him in our culture, but I've always felt anyway that he should embrace and know about the culture that he comes from. And because he's so interested in American folk magic, I think it's time for him to take a look at hoodoo. And, certainly I'll help him if there's anything that he wants to do. If there's something that I feel like might be dangerous or something, I'll counsel him on it. But I also trust my son and I trust him to make decisions. And so I'm going to help him and I'm going to let him experience it on his own with me there to help if he wants me to or needs me to. But also I'm his dad, so I'm going to do my best to protect him. But I also want him to learn it and have the experience and learn the lessons that comes with learning magic. I mean, we've all learned our lessons, the good and the bad. We've all done things that maybe have crossed a line and then we learned our lesson from it, but now we know. And that's important for him too. I want him to have that experience. Obviously, I don't want him to get hurt, whatever, and I would intervene, but he has a good head on his shoulders. He knows right from wrong. He's very much like in tune with God. He's a good kid. He wants to do the right thing. He doesn't like to see people suffering or hurting. But he also wants to learn how to do this magic for himself. And so I gave him that tool tonight with that book. Yeah, I'm just curious, like what do you guys think? Do any of you have children that you're raising in folk magic environment? Have your kids expressed interest in what you do? Because Chosani's like kind of wishy-washy about it sometimes, but I think that the more he expresses interest in it, the more I think that Powwow might not satisfy him, at least at the age that he's at now. Like, it's good for me. When I was younger, I was into spells and witchery and all this bizwaz, but now Powwow is enough for me. It's good for me. It works for me. I'm very successful with it, and I don't need any of that other stuff. But he is at a different place on his journey. And so whatever tools I have available, which, if I have it, I'll offer it to him. If he expresses interest in it and I don't have it, I'll find it and get it for him. I'm just curious how other parents, approach this with their own children. So anyway, kind of a different subject tonight, but there you go. So my son's out there and someday I think he's going to do amazing things. He might not be the powwow kid, like he called himself a couple times. He might be something beyond that, and I hope so. So there we go. I definitely recommend it. I definitely suggest or encourage. That's where I'm looking for any commentary on this. Please, let's have a discussion about it. That's really why I'm posting this, is to have a discussion. So yeah, let me know your thoughts, please, because it's new territory for me too. I mean, I have one son and obviously I want to do the right thing. So there we go. God bless you guys. Love you. And please, let's discuss this.